started the fix-up with the tenants living in the house. It went from bad to worse and they started breaking stuff.
The day finally came to list the house and the excitement was huge, because I believe it really offers so much and is up there with the best. Welcome to another house flip in the northwest of Johannesburg. This has been an interesting one. I renovated the house while the tenants were living in it, which caused a world of issues. I'm excited to take you guys on this journey, which has been like no other. And I mean, look at this house. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm Steve, and this is Flipping Johannesburg.
So this is a 1031 square meter stand. The house has 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, a study and staff room, a pool and resort style garden and entertainment area, and 2 garages. Project G is a palatial double-story face brick home for the entertainer. Upon entering, you can see how open plan the living space is. I plan to use many existing fixtures, for example, the floor tiles, which are still in great condition. The dining room is in the center and leads into the other reception rooms on either side. On the left side is the TV room, which leads through to the kitchen. The kitchen layout is really great, with its center island and open plan feel. It's just messy and needs a facelift. The brown and cream doors are not great at all. On the other side of the dining room, there is a sunken lounge with an awesome ceiling. This lounge leads to a guest bedroom, which the tenants didn't allow me to take pictures of, unfortunately. The stairs leads us to the first floor. And as you can see, there's no balustrade here, not ideal for small children. The house has a lot of waterproofing and damp issues, and the first instance is this damaged skirting. The first bathroom has this old-fashioned black tile throughout and is a real mess. Upstairs features 3 spacious bedrooms, and overall the house really needs a fresh coat of paint throughout. The laminate flooring upstairs is in good condition, but some other areas of skirting require attention. There is also a pajama lounge upstairs, which the tenants were using as a bedroom, as you can see. The main bedroom is in a great position and has a spectacular view. It's spacious and has a walk-in dressing room leading to the ensuite bathroom. The bathroom is really stuck in the 70s and needs a complete overhaul. It still surprises me how many houses still have bright-colored sanitary ware like this. Stepping outside shows the sheer scale of this beautiful house. It's an entertainer's paradise, with all ground floor rooms opening out onto the patio and pool. These timber sliding doors can be worked with, but some are damaged and the wood is rotten quite badly. So quite a big issue is that there's no boundary wall between the neighbor on the one side, which really needs to be fixed. There are many damp and waterproofing issues on this house, which is going to rack up the bill. There's blocked gutters and areas of the roof that need to be completely resealed. The double garage and large parking space complete the package of what's definitely the biggest house I've embarked on renovating.
So I bought this house at a sheriff auction. It was a repossessed sale. So basically the previous owners lost the house because they weren't paying their mortgage for a few years. But when it came time for me to get stuck in here, they didn't have a place to move to yet. So the hard decision was, do I wait for them to move out? Could be months. Or do I just start the fix-up? So we came to an agreement that they would rent for 2 months. And so I started the fix-up with the tenants living in the house. Yeah, it went pear-shaped very quickly, but more on that later. Trying to work while the tenants were living in the house was a nightmare. They were restrictive on me filming, so I don't have a lot of before footage. I had to work around their kids' exam timetable. So it was like 1 week on, 1 week off. And then they actually started trying to manage the project and give me design advice on certain areas. It was ridiculous. I bought the house with no boundary wall between the neighbor on the one side. Before I was on the scene, there was an old wall, but it was leaning quite badly and had some design flaws. The neighbor actually got a structural engineer's report done out of concern. So the wall was a single brick, no support columns. Due to the ground level difference, it was retaining a lot of the soil on the higher side, but not designed to do so. And there were quite a few big stem trees right up against the wall. The report basically stated that for these reasons, the wall is unsafe and needs to be broken down. So the neighbor broke the wall down, but due to the unresolved disputes between the two neighbors, a new wall was never built.
So building a new boundary wall here was part of my renovation, and thank goodness the neighbor agreed to pay half.
To overhaul this kitchen, Paul and his team from Fine Tune Interiors removed all the doors and took them off-site to refurbish. The doors had a vinyl wrap that was peeling at the edges, which they managed to remove with difficulty. They then started the complex painting process, using a strong primer and a water-based gel enamel. Paul's unique method is in the way he applies the paint. They also fixed and painted the cupboard carcasses and as a whole, really brought the kitchen to life in a big way. The kitchen appliances were broken, unfortunately, and parts could not be sourced. It was a real headache, so I ended up buying all new appliances. In week 1, the tenants only allowed us to renovate one bathroom. Only now in week 3, they allowed us to start the other bathroom. So here we were, chopping and generating dust. It felt like day 1 again. It's a very inefficient way to renovate. Looking back, there was nothing worse than not being in control of my own project.
Then things started to get ugly with the tenants. They didn't move out and they stopped paying rent. At this stage I was about 80% complete on the renovation and the rest of the work was finishing touches which I couldn't do while they were still living in the house. So the question was, do I go ahead with evicting them? Now this is tricky because it can take up to a year and legal fees are very expensive. So in my experience, it's really a last resort. Months went by with no rent coming in. It went from bad to worse and they started breaking stuff. A brand new glass basin in the main bathroom cracked. I thought enough is enough. Out of desperation, I listed the property on the market, only 80% complete. It was not ideal, and I had a feeling I wouldn't get the price I wanted. Unsurprisingly, there wasn't a lot of interest, and the house didn't sell at this point, which in hindsight I am glad about, because in a turn of events, a couple of months later, the tenants actually moved out. It was a miracle. I could finally get back in, get the house looking immaculate, and finish the project.
Never a dull moment on site. We saw some water bubbling up underneath the pool paving, so we dug. We saw a stop end there that had blown off, so when you turn the irrigation on, the water just gushes out.
Here are the renovation costs from the most expensive category to the least expensive. Painting and bathroom costs are always in the top 3 on renovations. The electrics cost was high because I had to get a brand new electricity meter. The garden and tree costs also involved fixing the irrigation system, which pushed the price up. As mentioned, I was able to save a bit on the boundary wall because the neighbour paid half. There were a few unforeseen waterproofing repairs that increased the roof costs. The first 10 categories make up a whopping 84% of their entire spend. Here are the other categories, bringing the total cost of the renovation to just over 430,000 Rand. This has been quite a journey of a house flip, renovating while tenants were living in the house, then breaking things and being delayed by months. But here we are, and she's a real beauty.
Here we are, the completed Project G. You get the sense of openness as you enter the house, from the entrance hall down to these living areas here that are all open plan and flow nicely into each other. They actually all have sliding doors opening out onto the patio. So here we've got the dining. To the left, we've got the sunken lounge. And over on this side, we've got the TV room and the kitchen. It's a very modern layout for a house that's not that new at all, so well done to the builders back in the day. This has become the key selling feature for me. You can never underestimate the difference a coat of paint makes and clearing the clutter and rubbish. And the furniture staging is always on point. Thanks Vanessa from Space Energy, the best in the business. Let's walk through to the kitchen. The classic grey and silver white makes quite an impact. And this is a chef's kitchen. You've got stone tops, a centre island, breakfast nook, separate scullery and laundry room, as well as a pantry, walk-in pantry this side. It's quite a dramatic facelift, and the lighter colours just really lift the room, transform the space. Let's show you guys upstairs. So believe it or not, there was no balustrade here. So it was a bit of a safety issue. So we added this one in. And if we have a look here, the previous skirting was quite badly damaged here from moisture because the bathroom is on the other side. So of course, when we redid the bathroom, we waterproofed that properly and then we replaced the skirting here.
In the first bathroom, I kept it simple with a neutral wall tile and a really nice shade of grey for the floor tile. I decided to give it a bit of character with a patterned feature tile, Marrakesh style. I must say I was extremely happy to get rid of the horrible black tile from before and to clear the clutter.
So one of the big ticket items that I didn't replace was the laminate flooring. And it was honestly a cost versus benefit argument. So picture this. You've got this house with brand new flooring that costs 50,000 Rand versus this house with the existing flooring. That's a bit worn in, but there's nothing wrong with it. Will I get 50,000 Rand more in the selling price for the house that's got the new flooring? And my thinking was no. It would be a wasted 50,000 Rand. But the beauty of it is you only truly know when the house is on the market, and that's what keeps it interesting. This is the pajama lounge. It has a spectacular view, and this room's got so many options. So it could be used as a lounge like we've staged it here, or a study. The previous owners used it as a bedroom actually. I'd use it as a gym. Let's see the main bedroom here. It's really spacious, this room, and once again the views are out of this world. Quite late on in the renovation, came up with a clever solution to trim the tops of the trees to reveal this view because they were blocking any sort of view from here. And I mean, a simple little solution like that has really upped the value of the house. Let's walk you through the main bathroom in detail. So previously we were dealing with maroon sanitary ware and a bidet, which had to go. The old shower had a brick wall this side, so removing that really just opened up the space quite a bit. With the bath, I wanted to go with freestanding, but they're very expensive, so this is called a skirted bath. So it is freestanding, it's just got two pieces. So this top piece slots into the base piece. So generally it's clean lines, neutral colors, we plastered and painted the walls. Looks really fresh. Another thing, when we bashed out the old built-in bath, it exposed the toilet waste pipe running along here, and it's an eyesore. So I wanted to hide it by chasing it into the ground. But now we're on the first floor. So that meant jackhammering into the concrete slab. Now this brought a few engineering and structural risks. So we went with a safe option and decided against it. Instead, I came up with a clever solution of building a wooden surround, which is functional and acts as a ledge. The face brick exterior is brilliant. It's low maintenance, saved me the painting cost. Now when it came to the wooden window and door frames, people often asked me, why not replace them with aluminium? And the answer is because it would cost over 100,000 Rand and there's nothing wrong with the existing wooden frames. So after some repair work, we painted them charcoal to modernize the look. And we used a strong self-priming oil-based enamel paint, which has a strong sealing effect on the wood. So there you go, clever, budget-friendly solution which involved using existing elements. And that's what we're all about. So I reckon the tenants knew all along that the pool had a leak. They just didn't tell me and kept topping it up. It would explain the high water bill. So I brought the pool specialist in and immediately they picked up a leak by the light. So they replaced the light and remarbleited around it. Then just to be safe, they also remarbleited around the weir and the inlet because these are the areas usually prone to leak. Then in addition to that, we also replaced all of the piping because we picked up some leaks there. So now the pool's fixed. Looking sparkling, running like a dream. We learned from the problems that the old wall had, and unfortunately we had to remove the big trees that were right up against the wall. Then on the build, what we did is from foundation level up to the ground level on the higher side, which is this side, we went 3 brick courses wide for added strength. Then from that level up to the top, we went 2 brick courses wide, and we added support columns every 3 meters or so, as you can see here. So we did over-engineer it a bit, which is always a good thing. Funny enough, one of the hardest things was to match to the existing face brick, as you can see here, but I think we did a good job. I'm happy with how it's turned out. The day finally came to list the house and the excitement was huge because I believe it really offers so much and is up there with the best. So we listed the house at 3.35 million. I worked with Arthur, Martin and B, brilliant estate agents from Arthur Baron Estates. And they actually tracked how many clients they brought through. And in a 1 month period, 38 people viewed the property, which on average is more than 1 a day. So that's the level they operate at. So after 1 month, we managed to secure an offer of 3.3 million. Amazing and officially sold.
I purchased the house for just over 1.4 million Rand. At sheriff auctions, the buyer pays auction commission and arrears rates and taxes. The transfer and finance costs were quite substantial. After the renovation costs, I was all in at over 2.2 million. The property sold for 3.3 million Rand, and there was a bit of extra rental income from the tenants. After sales costs, the net profit figure came to a record-breaking 1,071,000 Rand. Here are the figures in US dollars.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, Flipping Johannesburg, and to share this video. You can also follow me on my social media accounts for more regular updates. Thanks guys, see you on the next one.